All right, we are live. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Lodgify's latest marketing webinar. My name is Mikkel Radic, and I'm a content marketing specialist here at Lodgify. And I want to start off by just giving everybody a very big thank you for joining us. Looks like we've got people really from all over the world with us here today, so it's so cool to see you all. And today's a very exciting webinar because it's our very first marketing webinar with Vrbo. I'm very excited to have with me here today Paula de la Torre Manrique, a senior connectivity account manager at Vrbo. Do you want to introduce yourself, Paula?
For sure. First of all, thank you for the invitation to this webinar. And as Miquel said, I'm Paula de la Torre. I'm Connectivity Account Manager in Vrbo, part of Expedia Group. And my main role is help to partner software provider like Lodgify to establish a good relationship with Vrbo and good connection to help to optimize the property managers who are connected to Lodgify. So more than happy to be here today and preparing some interesting information for you to optimize and increase your revenue with us.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Paula. We're super excited to have you here. So thank you. And yeah, Paula's got a great presentation for us here today on travel trends in 2026 and how to make the most of them. And she'll be getting started just shortly. But first, a couple things from me, starting with some housekeeping items. Please keep in mind that everyone here in the audience is muted, so we cannot hear you. However, we can see the chat. So if you've got any questions or comments, you can go ahead and put them there in the chat, the right side of the screen. Now, if you can't hear us, that obviously is an issue. So a couple solutions. If you see a blue button on your screen that says tap to unmute sound, like the one pictured here, go ahead and give that a tap. You can also try turning up your audio and then refreshing the page if all else fails. And because we do get this question quite a lot, yes, the webinar is being recorded and the recording will be sent out tomorrow via email. So everyone who's registered, you can expect that email with the recording to YouTube tomorrow. Okay, so what can you expect today? I'll be starting with a brief intro to Lodgify, and then I also want to share with you all our new 2026 State of the Industry report. After that, I'll hand it over to Paula to talk about the state of travel in 2026. And as always, we'll be ending with a Q&A session. So if you've got any questions now, or if anything occurs to you throughout the webinar, go ahead and put them there in the chat at the right side of the screen. One caveat here is that we want to keep questions as general as possible so the answers are helpful for everyone here. So that means that if you've got any technical questions or questions about your specific Vrbo account, those are best sent to Vrbo support instead, and Paula's going to be sharing the contact info for their support team. Okay, so what is Lodgify? I know we've got a lot of Lodgify customers here today, so I'm going to keep this brief. But for those of you guys who aren't familiar with us yet, Lodgify is a vacation rental management software that helps you manage, automate, and grow your short-term rentals. Our goal is really to help you maximize the potential of your property and take full control of your business. So how do we do that? I want everyone to keep in mind it's not one single feature that's going to help you take control of your business, but rather a comprehensive ecosystem of features. So that includes our channel manager, for example, which helps you sync your calendars, rates, reservations, and more across top online channels, including, for example, Vrbo, as well as other channels like Airbnb, Booking.com, and your direct booking site. And the goal of a channel manager is really to help make sure you don't get double bookings, right? So your calendars are in sync, but also so that you don't have to update things across every single platform. You can update things just in Lodgify, and those will get synced out across everywhere you list. We also offer a website builder. So if you don't already offer a direct booking site to get reservations for your business, you can use our website builder to create one. We also offer an embeddable booking widget. So if you already have a website, but it doesn't have the capacity to accept direct bookings, you can use our widget to enable that capacity. We also have property management software, sometimes called PMS. This helps you manage a lot of different things in your business. For example, it enables seamless check-in and check-out, payment processing. We also have things like dynamic pricing, and Lodgify smart locks. Lots of automation and AI tools for things like cleaning and task management, AI messaging, saved replies and autoresponders. Of course, we've got a mobile app to let you manage your business on the go, and analytics and reporting to help you generate reports for things like revenue, payments, occupancy, and the like. On top of all of that, we've got free onboarding and training, 24/7 customer support, and a marketplace of dozens of third-party apps. So if there's anything you want to do with Lodgify that we don't provide, chances are one of our third-party apps will let you do that. That being said, Lodgify is more than just technology. We actually pride ourselves on creating helpful resources for our community of hosts and property managers. For example, this webinar, or our recent 2026 State of the Industry report that we released last week. This report I want to share with you all just because it's a super helpful resource. It includes survey responses from 270 US vacation rental hosts and property managers. We asked hosts about things like their challenges, goals, tools, and other questions. We also analyzed over 1.6 million US bookings in Lodgify's internal data. And then we give you guys all of these insights plus tips to help you make the most of them in the year ahead. So I know it can be hard to keep up with industry resources, but if you only have time to look at one thing this year, this would honestly be the one. It's very, very helpful. And to give you all a little taste of some of the things you can see there, I wanted to put your knowledge to the test. I've got a few questions for you all. So I'll read you guys the questions, and I want to see how close everyone can get, and you can put your answers here in the chat. First question, does anyone have an idea what was the average trip length in 2025? We're looking for a response in number of days. So what do you think the average length of bookings was in 2025? Any guesses? Got 2, 4, 10, lots of 4 days. 7 days. All right. 5, 10. Okay. Let's see how close everyone is. The average was 3.67 days in 2025. And that was actually down about 3% from 2024. So trip lengths are getting shorter year over year. And of course, yeah, it depends on type of property. So we're looking at average across all property types here and all booking channels. So of course, yeah, once you look at the specific channel and property type, you'll see variation there. But across the board, the average is 3.67 days. Next question. Oh, I also want to share this with you all because it's super interesting. When you start looking at the different lengths of stay for 2025, almost 72% of bookings were for just 1 to 3 days. So the weekend trip here is really the most popular. Next question, what was the average booking window in 2025? And for anyone who's not aware, booking window refers to how far ahead people book. So how far in advance bookings are made. So yeah, again, we're looking for a response in number of days. Got first guess at 23 days, 15 days, 90 days, big variation here. 30 days, 60 days. And of course, again, this varies by property type and channel, but we're looking at just the overall average. All right. Lots of good guesses, as high as 1 year. And the average was 52 days. And this is also down from 2024 by about 4%. So basically, we're seeing bookings made less far in advance and for shorter trips overall is the trend in 2025. And last question for you all before I turn it over to Paula. What percentage of vacation rental businesses do you guys think used AI in 2025? This came out of our survey. So we're looking for a percentage of businesses that used AI. Got 60%, 20%, 8%, 5%, 30%. Numbers all over the place. Okay, the percentage is 28.2%, so less than a third of businesses are using AI right now. And we get into a little bit in the report, but it actually looks like a large percentage of vacation rental businesses are not quite comfortable using AI yet. So yeah, just wanted to share a little sneak peek at what we have in the report, and would love for you guys to download it if you want more information. There's a button there at the bottom of the screen that says read our 2026 State of the industry report. If you click that, it'll take you directly to the page where you can download it. And then, of course, a reminder to try Lodgify out if you haven't yet. And I'll put that link there for you guys to start our free 7-day trial in the chat for anyone who wants to give us a try. And now I will hand it over to you, Paula.
Thank you, Michele. And thank you for this introduction and explanation and very good questions that you mentioned. And also in my presentation, we will see this figure also only for Vrbo travelers. So very linked to my presentation. I'm going to share my screen. Just 1 second. So, as Michele says, today we are going to talk about the state of travel in 2026. First of all, I wanted to thank to Lodgify to invite me in this webinar. And just for your information, Lodgify is our elite partner. What does mean? Elite partner is an exclusive group of top performing integrated software providers who offer the highest quality connection and comprehensive functionality. So all of you guys, property manager who are connected to Vrbo via Lodgify, you can be sure that the connection that you have right now is the best one because Lodgify is one of our elite partners. You can see here 2025 because we are finalizing the status for this year for 2026, and maybe next week we will announce the new status for 2026. So keep in the loop that we will communicate this as soon as possible. So let's start with the agenda for today. We are going to start with the traveler trends. We will see planning and value of the traveler, and then continue with the acting on the trends. How can we impact on these trends? And also I will explain a little about promotions. At the end, we will have a session of Q&A. And as Michele mentioned, bear in mind that this is a webinar with many people. So my recommendation is if you have a specific issue, technical or commercial issue with your account, with the Lodgify or Vrbo account, please contact directly to Lodgify or Vrbo. At the end of the presentation, I will share the direct contact for Lodgify and for Vrbo to try to solve your issue in a best way possible. So this is my recommendation. But if you have a general question, please submit your question here in the webinar. I'm more than happy to respond at the end of the presentation. So let's start with the traveler trends. And travel is meaningful. This is more meaningful than ever. Travel is no longer just a nice to have. In our latest Expedia Group Traveler Value Index, for your information, Expedia Group used to make some surveys and studies around the customer behavior and customer trends to have more data and analyze the influence on this. So after our last study, we saw that around half of our consumers say that traveler is more important to them now than 5 years ago. That means that your guests aren't just looking for a place to sleep. They are looking for experience and memories. And when we think about our listing and our guest communication, we need to speak to that emotional value. So what's actually driving people to travel? The motivation behind travel. Here in this chart, you can see two different colors. Gray color represents 2022 and blue color represents 2025. So in 2022, the top motivation we saw were things like a change on scenario and physical or mental health benefits. But in 2025, that shift. Now, guests are prioritizing time with loved ones and new experience over those more pandemic era motivations. And for you, as Lodgify property manager, we will recommend you highlight a space that bring people together, like for example, large dining tables, living room, outdoor areas. Tell stories in your description about memories, like for example, family reunions, friends getaway, special occasions, and use photos that show connection, people enjoying the space together, not just empty room. And another big shift we're seeing where people are going. Here, again, you can see how is the evolution about international travel. International travel is very much back. Almost 70% of consumers says that they are likely to book or have already booked an international trip in the next 12 months. You can see the evolution like 5 years ago to right now. And for you, what does the value, the meaning of this? That make sure that your listing appear to international guests. Think about language, clear house rule, and simple check-in instruction. Also, consider what long-haul traveler need. For example, flexible arrival times, clear transport information, and amenities that make a longer stay comfortable. And of course, even with a strong demand, there are still some headwinds. And inflation is one of the top of the mind. When we ask travelers what is the most likely to impact their travel plan, inflation is the number one concern, followed by health and safety and environment concern. The good news here is that overall concern level are lower than were in 2022, but price and value are absolutely top of mind. So guests are still eager to travel, but they are just more selective about where their money goes. That link directly into what travelers value most when are choosing place to stay. So here, with the values, you can see that our traveler value index shows for vacation rental, pricing and reviews are leading booking values. The top factor guests look are include positive reviews, low pricing or clear value for money, the ability to get a full refund and change booking, enhanced cleaning and contactless experience, and the ability to earn reward points. So, if your listing has strong reviews, flexible policy, and clear value, you are already aligned with what guests care about most. The opportunity is to make sure that those strengths are front and center in your listing content and pricing strategy. And beyond price and policy, specific amenities are really important. Here in this chart, we can see the most wanted future. And for sure, air conditioner or heating, Wi-Fi, clean include, a good view, and convenient parking are high on the list. But guests also love comfortable outdoor space, quality linens, TV with streaming, a washer or dryer for longer stay. So if you already offer these ones, make sure that they are clearly listed and visually highlighted. If you are thinking about where to invest next, this is a great checklist to prioritize from. So we got a meaningful travel, a stronger motivation, and clear booking values. How does that show up in budget? We have bigger budget, but remaining price conscious. The interesting thing is that more than half of consumers say that they are actually increasing their travel budget for the next 12 months. But at the same time, around 60% expect to be more price conscious. So travelers are willing to spend, but they need to feel that they are getting great value. That's where a smart use of promotion becomes really powerful. And now let's talk about how can you turn these trends into bookings with Vrbo. Before to continue, I wanted to give you a brief overview of Vrbo. Vrbo is a part of Expedia Group because some of you maybe are you are not connected to Vrbo. So to have a little bit of more of details, Vrbo, with Vrbo, you have access to plus 10 million average daily visitor, 20 global brands reaching traveler across many markets, plus 25 years of experience in online travel, and over 1 billion average searches per month. All of that is working behind the scenes to match the right traveler with the right property at the right time. With your Lodgify account, you can connect to Vrbo very quickly and in a very easy way. So if you are not already connected, if you are not connected to Vrbo yet, please you can check in your Lodgify account. And with this ecosystem, Vrbo has a very specific type of traveler. I'm sure that most of you are very familiar with Vrbo Traveler because they are different than the rest of other OTAs. Vrbo Traveler are very valuable for hosts like you. They make up 14% of global travelers and 13% of traveler spend. And they are highly focused on quality time and connection with loved ones. So, on average, Vrbo guests take 4 to 2 trips per year, book with a 89-day booking window, a travel as a group and families looking for space and privacy. They choose vacation rentals because they want room to spread out, cook together, and create those meaningful memories we talked about earlier. That's aligned perfectly with many Lodgify properties. And these figures are related with the presentation of Michele at the beginning of the session. And here you can see how the different with some average that, for example, with Vrbo, the booking window is bigger and the length of a stay also is bigger. Just to have this clarification. And when they book on Vrbo, we see them spending more. Compared with other type of travel bookings, Vrbo reservation tend to be higher total spend per vacation rental booking, higher spend per night, and typically longer stay, over a day longer on average. So the traveler you attract through Vrbo are not just more likely to value your space, they also bring a strong revenue potential to your business. So the next question is, how do we make sure those travelers actually chose your listing? Here, promotion can help to us. 1 second. Recently, we enabled some promotion on Vrbo, like early booking discount and last minute discount to stand out in search, attract the right guest and the right time, and fill your calendar more efficiently. The main benefit of promotions are help boost your visibility via budget and merchandising in certain resorts, signal value to price conscious travelers, and support different strategies from looking in bookings well in advance to filling closing gaps. And related to promos, I wanted to clarify that right now is not enabled in Logify, but they are working so hard to enable this as soon as possible. So for sure, once this functionality will be available for Logify user, we will inform you. Logify and Vrbo team will contact to you to inform that you will have this functionality live and you can create your promotion directly in your Logify account. So keep on the loop of this because as soon as we have more details on this, we will inform you. And also, we measure the impact of this promo. For that reason, Logify is working so hard to have this as soon as possible because we analyze the performance metrics and we will compare listings with promos and similar listings without promotions. And we see a clear uplift in conversion. With last minute discount, conversion increased by about 60%. With an early booking discount, conversion increased by 70%. So I will encourage you to enable promos as soon as you can, since you can see the real value of them. And here this is the end of my presentation. I prepare a brief recap just to summarize the most important topic that we talked today. And it's important to bear in mind that travelers in 2026 see travel as more important than ever, and they are traveling to connect with loved ones and seek new experience. They are planning more international trips. They have bigger budget, but they are also more price conscious. It's important to focus on value, reviews, flexibility, and key amenities. And by using smart promotions, especially early booking and last minute discount, you can significantly increase your conversion and capture more than demand. And also, well, a call to action for you after this session, I would encourage you to review your listings and make sure that your photos, description, and amenity clearly speak to connection, comfort, and meaningful stays. And also check your key amenities and policies. Remind you that Wi Fi, air conditioner, cleaning, and flexible cancellation are really important and clearly highlighted.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Paula. Great. So we've got some questions in the chat already. And it looks like they are still coming in. So lots of questions to get through. Keep on putting them in the chat if more things occur to you guys, and we will get started. The first question comes from Daphne, who wants to know how to get properties out to the entire Expedia group and not just on Vrbo's website.
Okay, very good question. So, theoretically, once you publish your listing in Vrbo via Lodgify, you will automatically publish your listing in Expedia. It's not needed to make anything extra. But again, if you see that is not happening and your listing are not showing in Expedia, please contact to us directly and sending us your listing, your email address, and we can confirm that everything is okay. Because right now the connection is once you publish your listing on Vrbo, you will be automatically published on Expedia website. I mean, you need to have some technical requirements, but all the listings that are in Logify are okay with this technical requirements.
Good to know. Let's see. Oh, this is referencing some of the data you were showing about like averages for Vrbo bookings, and Jennifer wants to know if the data is from the US or global.
Yeah, sorry, maybe I forgot to explain with more details, but this study is globally. We analyze data from different countries, from US, from Europe, APAC, and this information is globally. Because Expedia analyze all the data that we have, and we are globally, so we have different surveys and different data from different region, and they consolidate in one report.
Good to know. Thank you. Giannis wants to know, what is Vrbo's commission fee?
This is a very good question, and I'm not going to respond this one because the commission fee is different depending on the country. The last information that we can share is there are different fees depending on the country, because not all the countries perform at the same level, and also to try to balance, because in some country, if the fee is very high, we consider that is not fair.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I know that sometimes the fee isn't super straightforward. Another question, I'm not sure if you have this data readily available, but what is the average ADR on Vrbo, and how many nights stay? What is the average ADR and the average trip length on Vrbo? And what is the most booked size home on Vrbo?
In the last report that we had, The number of nights stay is around 9 nights, 8.90, if I'm not wrong. And the most book size home on Verbo is plus 3 bedrooms.
Okay.
Okay, normally big properties perform higher than small apartments. For sure, we have all type of properties because we have different travelers from different needs, but bigger properties with 3 bedrooms perform better because it's the
Okay.
most developed.
Good to know. We also included some data on ADR for Vrbo in our 2026 report. So I can tell everybody for US bookings, from US bookings through the Lodgify system, Vrbo had an ADR of 439 US dollars last year, which was up about a percentage point since 2024. I can also say that Vrbo is the channel with the highest ADR of all the channels we analyzed. So that kind of correlates with bigger properties. Good to keep in mind. Okay. Next question. And some of these, I'm not sure how technical they are exactly. So if it feels like something that is too complicated to answer here, just let me know, Paula. But Ruth wants to know how to charge amenity fees and cleaning. Is that something?
Yeah, well, related to Logify, you can include, if I'm not wrong, maybe Michele, you are more familiar, but once you configure your rates, you can add an extra fee like cleaning fee or any type of amenity fee. You have the configuration in your dashboard regarding each property and you can configure it since Logify, from Logify, and appear automatically in Verbo.
That sounds right to me, but I also got someone from Lodgify support here in the chat, and I'll let him add to that in case he has extra information to share. So Jennifer has a question about promotions and discounts. So she wants to know if in order to offer a discount, she should increase her prices first. So she's not eating into her revenue, I guess, and maybe making it look like it's a better deal. Do you have thoughts on that, Paula?
I mean, this is not the aim to create a discount, but for example, if you want to have to offer a discount for early booking, you can do that for sure. You can increase your price or not, or you can only offer it's not necessary to give a big discount, maybe just 5% or 10%, but you appear with the badge of discount for early booking and you appear in a lot of search. So it's not necessary to offer a big discount because the idea is not inflate the prices and offer a big discount. The idea is offer a good price if you book with enough advance for you.
Okay, makes sense. Also related to discounts, Diane wants to know where you can see the price with the slash through it, and that's just on the actual listing, right? I think you showed a
Yes,
picture.
mhm, exactly. In the listings that already have the discount, they can see the price and the price with the discount.
Okay, good to know. Here's a question from Valerie. It's cut off, so I'll read all of it. So she says, while Vrbo would be an attraction option, our spaces are attached to our home, and I am aware that Vrbo is about non-shared spaces with the host. What would be a good strategy for those with shared spaces? So for hosts who don't have an entire home to rent out, is there any option for them to take advantage of Vrbo?
Uh, right now, there is no possibility. It's our minimum requirement to have a kitchen, one bathroom, and one bedroom, and not share spaces. Is we have these limitations because at the end, traveler who are looking for a place in Verbo looking for this. Maybe in other OTAs, but here in Verbo, we need the full apartment or the full house for the traveler.
It's kind of the selling point for them, right? That's what they're looking for.
Exactly.
Kind of similar question. Um, do Lodgify, Vrbo, or Expedia support booking experiences since this is the number two reason people are booking? I can say for Lodgify, we ourselves don't, but we do have, like I mentioned earlier, the marketplace of integrations that we offer. And so we do offer integrations that do upsells and experiences add-ons. And I can put some links to where you can find more info on that in the chat.
For Verbo right now, we don't have this type of experience, but in Expedia is possible. We have this option in Expedia in the Expedia website. So for sure, traveler can book different experience apart from the lodging.
Let's see. Another question from Daphne. What is the contact to get Expedia taken care of? I guess this means the um, for your properties to be listed through Expedia as well. Did you say there was someone to reach out to?
In I don't have here to share the correct contact for Expedia, but if you are already connected to Verbo, I recommend to contact to Verbo support to receive this information because maybe it's not necessary to contact directly to Expedia and via Verbo you can solve on this. And if not, my recommendation is via website here in to find Expedia.
Okay. Good to know. Sorry, I'm just going through the questions to see which ones we want to answer next. Here's one from 818 Via. As the host, do we have a separate owner platform to sign on to or make edits, or do you have to create a separate account for Expedia, or is it all the same place?
Theoretically, it's not needed. I mean, if you have your account in Lodgify and connect with Verbo, automatically all the listings appear in Expedia. So it's not necessary to create another account with Expedia, another onboarding process is not needed because one of the main benefits to be in Verbo is automatically we share the inventory in Expedia website.
Okay. Good to know. Looks like Niels wanted to know, and I think this is a response to the data I shared earlier about how many people are using AI and how AI is being used. And we do get into the specific use cases in the report. There's a graph with all the different use cases, but I can tell you guys now that the biggest use case for AI in 2025 was guest messaging and support, followed by content creation. And content creation meaning using AI to create content for like your website or your listings rather than writing it out all manually. So those are the top two use cases. But again, the report does list out all the different use cases. I did see a comment also that the button at the bottom of the screen wasn't working. So again, I'll put the link for you guys in the chat if anyone wants to download that. Any other questions, keep putting them in the chat if you have any. Here's a question from Chrisette. Chrisette wants to know if they need to update the listing in Vrbo or Lodgify. You want to speak to that, Paula?
Yeah, for sure. If you are connected to Logify, if you are already connected to Logify and with Verbo, all the information that you update in Logify, and automatically this info will appear in Verbo. If so, the main benefit to use PMIS, yes, is you have everything automatically. So makes no sense and is a technical issue. If you are already connected in Verbo via Logify, all the information, all the communication, all the updated things in Logify. Because if you try to do that something in Verbo, you are going to create a technical issue, and then we will have a problem, especially with bookings and calendar. So please bear in mind this, but please be aware that if you have your account in Verbo, it's connected with Lodgify or not, and if you are in Lodgify, it's connected to Verbo or not, because we have some cases that, for example, you are in Logify and you are in Verbo with a different accounts. In that case, it's a little bit mess. If you have any specific question for your account, my recommendation is contact directly to Logify or Verbo to double check that your account is very well connected.
Awesome. Greg wants to know if within Vrbo there's a place for house rules and guest screening.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. In Verbo, we have a clear place for house rule. And it's very important that the traveler has to accept this house rule before to make the reservation. So there is no excuse like, oh, I didn't read that or I couldn't see this information. No. In the traveler flow, in the travel flow, the traveler needs to accept the house rule before to make the reservation.
Next question, and it looks like a lot of the questions here are more technical, which again, we're going to skip over. But any more general questions, go ahead and put them in the chat. But at least one last one for now is from Deborah. And she wants to know if a B&B or bread and breakfast is a viable property type on Vrbo or Expedia.
Nowadays is not viable, it's not possible because we don't have this section. We have vacation rental, meaning like the full house, not no share space, or hotel. Maybe depending on the bed and breakfast, you can check in Expedia, contact connecting directly to Expedia, but in Verbo right now is not possible.
Okay. Now, not Chrisette. Sorry, Lily wants to know why do I get invoiced from Vrbo after payout? This question.
Sorry.
So the question is, why do
Yeah,
I get
well,
invoiced after payout?
very good question. If I'm not wrong, it's 3 days after the check-in, but depending of the payment provider. So
Okay.
here, in that case, Lily, my recommendation is contact directly to Verbo because not everyone have the same payment provider. So in some cases, the the time after the check-in is different.
There's a question from Nick. Some of it I don't understand, but part of it is just which countries is Vrbo the strongest in? Do you have an idea of what markets Vrbo has the most listings in?
The We have different market, but I can confirm that the stronger one is United States. US is the top one, and it's not a secret that there's a big difference between US and Europe. For sure, we are doing a lot of marketing investment in Europe to attract more travelers, the same in APAC. But right now, Verbo is very, very important. It's a huge in United States, for sure. From a property manager perspective, I mean, attracting traveler, and also from traveler perspective, most of US traveler use Verbo website.
Good to know. Awesome. Thank you. Well, I feel like that brings us to the end of the general questions. I know there's some more technical ones. Anything related to Lodgify we'll be answering in the chat there. But yeah, thank you all for joining us today, and thank you, Paula, for the great presentation on Friends. Lots of useful information there, and for all of your great answers to the Q&A. Again, I'll be putting in the chat the link to our report as well as the link to our integrations that allow you to offer upsells and experiences for anyone who wants more information on that. And yeah, Paula, do you have anything you want to say to wrap up?
Just to say thank you to Lodgify for inviting me, and also thank you for all the questions. Very good question. I feel that you've been very engaged with the presentation, and as soon, just to summarize this, that as soon as we have more details on promotions, we will inform you because we are aware that this is very important. And as I mentioned at the beginning, Logify is working so hard to have this as soon as possible. So I hope that in the coming weeks or months, we have this option available for you.
For sure. Yeah, I know that we're rolling it out literally as we speak. So there will be an update there very soon. Awesome. Well, thank you everybody for joining and for your questions. I will let everyone go, but have a great rest of your day and keep an eye on your email tomorrow for the webinar recording.